Hi, it's Red-Headed Riding Hood here. Red for short. I'm going to read August 1st. Happy August. Displacement, Part 1. A certain man was sitting in his garden suffering agonies with toothache, trying to make up his mind to visit the dentist. He thought that he would have a cup of tea and a piece of bread and jam. He got the tea and the bread and jam. He took a bite of the bread and jam without noticing that a wasp had settled on it. When he took the bite, the wasp stung him extremely painfully in the gum. He dashed indoors and saw in the mirror that the gum was swollen and inflamed. He treated it and bathed it, and gradually the pain subsided. And when the pain of the wasp sting had subsided, he suddenly realized that the pain of the toothache was gone too. A medical man commenting on this story said that it is medically quite common for two pains to cancel each other out. In other words, paradoxically, the best way to get rid of one pain is to get another, and then they will eliminate each other. Interesting. There you have an excellent example of the principle of displacement. The principle of displacement is the title of a sermon by that once justly famous preacher, Percy Ainsworth. I haven't heard of this one. He took as his text Isaiah 55:13. Instead of the thorn shall come up the cypress. That's the Revised Standard Version, RSV. The AV has fir tree for cypress. You wanted to clear a piece of ground. You took out a spiky, jagged thorn tree, but you did not leave the ground empty. You put in a gracious cypress instead. You displaced the one with the other. When a farmer looks at a weedy piece of ground, he tears out the weeds, but he does not leave the ground empty. He displaces the weeds with a useful crop. In life, the way to get rid of a bad thing is to displace it with a good thing. This is a lesson of the parable of the empty house, Luke 11:24 and 26 through 26. The demon was ejected from the house. The house was swept clean, but it was left empty. And the consequence was that the demon came back with 7 demons worse than himself and reoccupied the empty house. To keep the demon out, he should have been displaced by good occupants. Not emptiness, but displacement must be the principle of life. And there's going to be part 2 tomorrow, but this made me think of my life, and I separated from my husband, and then I left Georgia, and and I thought like my problems are over, but they weren't. And then as I made like new friends and stuff, I came to realize later that some of them were toxic and dysfunctional and not healthy for me either. So this is making me think about that, because I needed, I was lonely. I needed to replace people in my life. And then also when I started dating, I was still dating unhealthy. I wasn't healed yet, and I was still attracting narcissistic men. And so this very much applies to my life, I feel like. It's a very good one. And tomorrow is part 2. Don't say that no one cares for you, because I do, and God does too. Don't forget to pray for Red, because Red is praying for you. Bye.